Usually I kind of fall organizationally, and I think, you got to run a business and blah, blah, blah. This time I'm falling on Brady's side because, come on, man. And let me throw some numbers at you because Brady came under a lot of criticism this year. And you know me, I'm more of a gambling guy, so I'm always in the analytics and I'm always looking for edges in games and everything, right? So Tom Brady this year, 60.8 completion percentage. Probably, I'm not looking at his career stats at this point, but probably not among his best in terms of completion percentage. And I will say, this is the first year that I watched Brady just as a non-biased, kind of, if I'm scouting the games for gambling, I thought, that's a throw he hits 3-4 years ago. And he missed some of those. Yeah. But if I'm running down the league, I still think Tom Brady's probably a top 10 quarterback. I don't know. We'll do that later in the offseason, that ranking, right? Yardage, 4,057 yards, okay? Touchdowns, 24, interceptions, 8. Some of those could be, I don't know, but some of those could be attributed to wide receivers not running the right routes, not doing the same thing. You don't know how many were tipped and all that. PFF probably has all those numbers, and I don't at this point. But my point is, everybody's freaking out about this Patriots offense. But one of the things I do, Pat, when I'm gambling is I look at offensive power, their rankings in terms of yardage, their ability, yards per play, all that stuff, defense and all that stuff. We know how awesome their defense was. Like, their defense was just incredible last year, special teams too. But that offense was not that bad. And they were scoring points, but there just weren't the offense we were used to seeing. And my feeling all along, all of last year was, if Gronk didn't wait so long to retire last offseason, they could have solved tight end before going into the season. Yep. And if Antonio Brown wasn't a nut job, and if Josh Gordon didn't have his substance abuse issues, you'd have tight end filled, and you'd have 2 deadly wide receivers, and that whole offense would have been just fine.
Yeah.
So
they would have been dominant, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then to go with that defense, that's a team. And by the way, they were this close to getting a bye week anyway this year, and it obviously ended up hurting them. I think this team, seriously, everybody's freaking out about it. I think this team, bring back Brady first and foremost, and I don't know where, but you got to get a tight end. I think is a little bit easier to find today than it might have been years ago. And I want to talk about that LSU guy you like as well. I think Moss's nephew or something like that.
Yeah, Moss.
Yeah. And then just a speedy guy on the outside because he can't win games with Dorsett, and I know he's a free agent. But, Julian Edelman moves the chains. You need somebody to help Julian Edelman over the top. And that's what Josh Gordon or Antonio Brown were going to be, and it didn't end up being that way. So why don't you respond to that kind of vomit of thought that I just gave you?
No, I think it's a good point.